on KCEP Power 88 is underwritten by the Southern Nevada Health District. And here is your host.
Good morning, Las Vegas, and welcome to A Healthier Tomorrow. I'm Will Rucker.
And I'm Ciara Owens.
And we are so glad that you have joined us for this edition of the program. I'm stumbling a little because I'm just be honest with y'all, we just sat down.
Yes, we did. We did.
But we are ready to rock and roll and have a great show. We have a fantastic in-studio guest. She's someone that's new to the program, but not new to our community. So you're going to learn a lot from her, but we're just excited to be here. I'm also stumbling a little bit because, Ciara, it's July.
It is July.
How'd that happen?
Let me tell you, I am sitting there thinking about this countdown before we blink. Kids going to be back to school. It's going to be Labor Day weekend and summer will be over.
It's already over. Summer done came and went.
Let me tell you, I was reading a book, and inside the book, this woman created a list of 10 things she wanted to do before summer was out. Mm-hmm. And I literally finished it right before Memorial Day weekend. And so I created my list of 10 things. And I think I've completed 2. So I need to get on it and get moving so I can get my stuff together. I was so excited. I had people join me on the board. So I gotta finish what I started.
Yeah, I was so surprised. I was proud of myself because I was like, I'm gonna have my backyard ready for summer. I'm gonna spend time outside with my daughter because she needs to get exposure, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not there.
Your backyard is already beautiful, though.
Oh,
Let me tell you, beautiful home.
But I had big plans.
You know, the big plans, big fun. Get it together so it'll be ready for the springtime.
There we go. It's ready for next spring. There we go. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. All right, the Healthier Tomorrow radio program is brought to you by the Office of Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion at the Southern Nevada Health District. With our Places to Play Park Finder, it's easy to find nearby parks, playgrounds, and dog-friendly spaces to be active. We support the City of Las Vegas Vision Zero efforts and are working with them to make getting to places like parks safer and easier for everyone. To check out our Places to Play Park Finder. There we go. Visit gethealthyclarkcounty.org. I told y'all it's the morning already, right?
We doing it though. We doing it. Y'all with us.
I'm going to tell you what happened to my brain. So I'm like, wait a minute. Places to play. I don't got to do my backyard.
No, you got to take baby girl out there and enjoy some of these beautiful parks. I actually, in preparation for today's show, was checking it out, and I love that they're encouraging the community members to even highlight, you know, amenities about the park that we would want to elevate for other people. So
Absolutely.
There's plenty of beautiful places to play in Vegas. We need to go outside and enjoy them.
And you know what? I really admire our park system because, I mean, we are in a desert and it is hot.
Yes.
But they do such a good job of making shaded areas, of being intentional with the type of materials on the ground so that you can actually relax, be cool with the play places, with the little water and everything.
Yes.
That does go back into the system so we're not wasteful with the water. Like, it's really well done, and our parks are amazing.
It seems like every time I turn around, there's a new park or there's a new aspect of the park that I enjoy. So I love everyone that's hosting events at the park, encouraging us to go outside, because I've been to Craig Roach Park more in the past 2 months than I have in about a year and a half, too, just because of the opportunities that came up.
Nice. All right. Well, if you haven't already, text your friend group, put it on your social media. Let folks know A Healthier Tomorrow is on the air. Today, we are talking about traffic safety. And I'm excited for this topic because, you know, all of us, whether we drive or not, are exposed to the roads, and we need to think about the safety challenges that exist and what we can do just to be more safe, because unfortunately there are too many crashes, there are too many fatalities, and way too many serious injuries happening right here in the valley. And we all can play a part in making this a safer place to live. So we have a very special guest in studio today. Her name is Lia Grimaldi. She's the project manager at the City of Las Vegas, and she'll be sharing with us a little bit about what's happening with this Vision Zero Matters project. So good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, do you mind telling us a little bit about you?
Yeah, sure. So I am a project manager at the City of Las Vegas in the Public Works Department, specifically Transportation Engineering Division. I've been at the city for 6 years now and heavily involved in the Vision Zero program since the beginning of my tenure, I guess.
All right, before we get into the conversation, what made you go into this work? I'm always so interested and intrigued.
That's a long story and kind of funny. I originally, when I first got into college, I wanted to do architecture. But my dad was very strict with me, and he basically told me that if I didn't pick a career in STEM, that he wouldn't support me through college. And so I picked civil engineering because it is such a wide, broad range discipline. And so I didn't specifically know what I wanted to do. And I had a lot of options with civil engineering, and so that's what I got my bachelor's and my master's in. And then after college, I discovered traffic engineering, which not a lot of people know about, and just fell in love.
That's right. It still ties to your architecture passion a little bit, because you're seeing it still in the grand scheme of things and a lot of work. So thank you for what you do.
Thanks.
All right. So this project, tell us a little bit about it, high level.
Yeah, sure. So back in 2022, we adopted our Vision Zero program, which is a program to eliminate all traffic-related fatalities and serious injuries in the city. We realized back then that, traffic crashes were really an epidemic within the city. We were seeing 250 crashes in a 4-year span. That equates to, a fatal every 2 days or a serious injury every 4 days. And so we really realized that we had to do something about it, right? And so we came across this Vision Zero program, which is a traffic safety movement that started in Sweden in the 1990s and has since been adopted in various countries around the world. And it's really a different approach to traffic safety. It has different components that are not your typical approaches to traffic safety. The main one being that, humans make mistakes. We should expect humans to make mistakes on the road. Humans aren't perfect. However, those mistakes shouldn't result in fatals or serious injury crashes.
I really like that, and that's one of the things I think is something we can adopt in so many spaces, which is humans are going to human. That's just what we do, right? And so why not design around how we actually are versus this kind of idealistic version of what we hope to one day become and accomplish, especially on something as direct as traffic safety. So I really appreciate that. Something else I think about is with traffic, a lot of times we approach it from an individual responsibility lens. What does the zero approach say about that?
Basically that we shouldn't focus on the individual making the mistakes. It needs to be multidisciplinary. We need to look at engineers. We need to look at planners. We need to look at policymakers, researchers, educators. They all work together to eliminate and reduce fatalities and serious injuries. It's so easy when a crash happens to point the finger at the one person and said, well, they made the mistake. They were speeding. Well, could the engineers have done something different? Could we have designed the road in a way to where you couldn't speed? You didn't have that option. Could the planners have not put a school on an arterial and prevented a kid from getting hit? Could the educators have taught that kid how to cross the street? It's really, it takes everyone with regards to traffic safety.
When we talk about it not just being a plan that sits on the shelf and working with each other in order to make it happen, what does that look like in terms of funding and how people pour into it?
Yeah, and I'll be the first to admit that sometimes we have created plans that do exactly that. They just sit on a shelf, right? But I'm really proud of our Vision Zero program. The first action plan that we created, we had close to 100 action items that we work towards. And I'm happy to say that, 4 years later, we completed 50% of those, and we're working towards the other 50%. So it wasn't just a plan that we did and we left on a shelf. These are actionable items that we're actively doing every day. And it's really, a cultural shift in the city, I think. Not before, traffic safety was more reactive. Something happened and we're like, okay, well, we need to do something about it. But now with Vision Zero, we're really proactive. We're really, looking at the data to see where those crashes are happening and how can we prevent them.
So with Vision Zero, you mentioned it's not just kind of a plan, though you guys have a lot of kind of pieces to this. One of the arguments I could hear is, hey, the city needs money. They just had this whole, big thing they had to pay, and we're tired of spending money on taxes. You know how people are. Nobody likes to pay taxes for some reason. Anyway, I won't get on that soapbox today. But the argument could be that saving lives is expensive.
Yep.
What would you say to that?
I would say that it is somewhat true, right? We don't have all the funding in the world to do everything that we want to do, but there's also things that we can do that are lower cost. In the past 4 years, we've made so many traffic safety improvements in-house that have been relatively inexpensive. We've installed close to 40 speed humps in various neighborhoods around the city. We've installed speed feedback signs or chicanes or
what are those?
Yeah,
I was like, you see them over, I was like, have I seen these feedback signs or the chicanes?
Yeah, so chicanes are basically, we install tubular delineators and rubber bumper blocks to basically shift traffic so that they're not going in a straight road. One of our issues with Vegas is that we have these big, wide roads that you just feel comfortable just plowing down, right? So one of the things that we can do is design the road to where the car can't go straight. They have to laterally shift back and forth. And so that is a good way and relatively inexpensive way to lower speeds.
I literally just told a friend, he was explaining, he's from Baltimore and local, and I was like, Vegas is just a grid. For the most part, you can just go straight through, and I never thought about it like that, especially certain roads. Now we're seeing a lot more roundabouts, and we're seeing a lot more of the roads that curve a little bit. I didn't realize this is a part of a whole plan done intentionally.
And you guys were talking about safe routes to parks earlier in this session. We worked with the Southern Nevada Health District to create a safe routes to parks document, and we were able to get funding from the Southern Nevada Health District to install speed feedback signs near 6 parks. So basically those are those signs that flash at you that say slow down.
Yes.
That tell you your speed, and
That's such a kind way to put speed feedback.
Yes, exactly. I like it. What is this? I love that. Now I know how to properly call them.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm just hearing Jennifer Lewis in my head. Slow down.
Yeah, Jennifer Lewis should be somebody's Siri or
that would not be speed feed. That'd be speed yelling.
But yeah, so going back to your point that, things take money, it is true, but there are also things that are relatively inexpensive that we have done in-house that have made a significant impact throughout the city.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And one other thing, the cost is not just monetary. It's not just cash. There's also the comfort cost. Yes. And I think the change that people have to endure is part of the conversation. Adapting to a roundabout. I remember when I first was learning to drive and had to go through a roundabout, that was a stressful experience because it's who goes when? How do you do this? And if you're driving through Summerlin Parkway or something, everything's a roundabout, and that can be uncomfortable when you're not used to it. Mm-hmm. But I think that investment is absolutely worth it for the safety payoff, because a human life is invaluable. I mean, if you're saving a kid from getting hit, that in and of itself is worth the headache and the extra time it takes to get to place and everything that's happening. So I think this is important to really talk about. And speaking of kids, let's talk a little bit more about the Safe Routes to Schools program, because I know that was a huge priority for you.
Yeah, that's one of my pride and joys from the Vision Zero program. Since we adopted it, we've really focused in on traffic safety around schools, and since 2022, we've went to over 20 schools where we've done assessments near these schools and identified short-term and long-term improvements, infrastructure improvements that we can make near these schools. And those have resulted in over 700 specific improvements that we've identified. And 500 of those were improvements that we did in-house, that our field staff was able to go out and make those improvements, whether it be signage, striping, red curb, like little things that collectively make a huge impact. So we try to go to 2 schools per ward per year, just so that we can equitably distribute where we use these resources.
All right, so as we dive in, and all of that is super important, when you talk about using data and you keep stressing that it's not guesswork, like it's informed decisions being made, what are some key points that you all look at outside of just like crash sites or different things of that nature?
Well, crashes is a big one. So we looked at crash data, and we developed what's called a high injury network. So these are corridors where we have the highest concentration of fatals and serious injuries. And it's crazy when you look at it, when you look at the data, that 10% of our roadways account for 60% of our crashes.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So when you look at it that way, you can say, well, if we can only focus our efforts on 10% of our roads, what kind of an impact will we make, when it comes to fatals? And so crashes is a big one. However, we are utilizing big data resources to identify near misses, and also we take into consideration citizen concerns. Citizens reach out to us and they tell us, hey, this intersection is really bad. I've seen so many near misses, so many close calls. You guys need to come out here and take a look at this. And sometimes there aren't crashes, but it's what leads up to the crash, right? Like the comfort and the near misses that we also look at.
When you talk about that's 10% of our roadways, are there any in particular that you would like to name for us? Not to put you on the spot.
They're ones that you guys know about, right? Charleston, Sahara, like those major arterials are the worst corridors.
Yeah. I'm going to channel my inner Dionne Warwick and my psychic friends and say that I predict that in 20 years, people are going to look back and forget we even had this conversation and be like, wow, what are they talking about for traffic safety? This is the safest city in the world for driving a car, and we don't even have to think about this.
That would be great. Yeah, and that's the goal, right? We want to eliminate all fatals and serious injuries by 2050. And some people, they are skeptical that we can do it, but there are cities around the world that have done it. They have reached that goal. And so I believe we can too.
As we continue to grow, I think that is important. And I love how you say this started in Sweden and then other countries and other communities have ultimately taken hold of this. I had a person moving from Seattle last year that moved here to Vegas and wanted to bike to work every day. And I was just like, I don't know if that's the safest. And just being hesitant and about that. So as the work that you all do, thank you, as we truly become like this big city that is diverse and healthy, because the greater our traffic is, the more we can spend some time outside walking, biking, driving safely.
Right. Yeah, that's the hope. And who knows, maybe in a few years we'll just have autonomous vehicles and that'll solve all of our problems.
That makes me nervous too, because you're seeing more and more of those on the road right now. What are some upcoming projects that you all are putting in place?
Yeah, thanks to the funding that we were able to secure through Vision Zero, we have a lot of exciting things in the works. We won 6 grants thanks to Vision Zero. One of them is our Stewart Avenue project. We have a 4.5-mile corridor that we're completely transforming and increasing safety for vulnerable road users. We won a grant through NDOT to install 80 more speed humps in various neighborhoods throughout the city. We have a SMART grant that we won, which will be installing new technologies in the downtown area that will basically automatically detect pedestrians that are crossing the road. So the pedestrians won't have to press the push button. They'll automatically change the signal cycle to protect them. Even right here in the historic West Side, we have 4 corridors that are currently in design: Washington, Bonanza, F Street, and H Street. And we're going to be completely retransforming these corridors for vulnerable road users.
Oh, that is fantastic and exciting news to come. I love it. Vision Zero. So, Lia, thank you for being on our program today. As we wrap up, is there anything that you want to make sure our audience takes away from the conversation today?
Yeah, sure. I wish people would have an open mind when it comes to traffic safety. It is possible, and, be aware of your behaviors on the road. Being distracted on your phone can cost someone their life. And also, we're always willing to listen to citizen concerns. If there are any issues that people want to bring to our attention, they can go on our website on clickfix.com and report any issues that they see on the roads. We really rely on everyone to let us know of any issues. So
before you finish your next thought, I just have to highlight that because in 2024 there were 19,805 issues through that C-Click fix.
Yes.
Of those, 19,118 were resolved. So that's over 96%.
Yes.
So it's not just a website that goes into the void. Like, that's a real thing that's making a real difference. Just wanted to highlight that because it's so impactful.
Thank you. Yeah, we have quite a good crew of engineers and field crew that work tirelessly to address all of our concerns.
Yeah. Pardon the interruption. Please continue.
That was pretty much it, I think.
Okay, fantastic. Well, again, thank you for joining us on the program and for educating our audience about the amazing things happening right here in Las Vegas. I actually learned quite a bit from you that didn't even know from preparing for this, so really appreciate you being on the air with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
The Healthier Tomorrow radio program is brought to you by the Office of Chronic Disease Prevention and Health Promotion at the Southern Nevada Health District. This summer, we encourage you to participate in our Soda-Free Summer Challenge. This challenge is simple. Reduce or eliminate sugar-sweetened beverages like sodas or energy drinks during the summer months. Look for our team at community events providing materials and educational resources on healthy drink options. For more information, visit gethealthyclarkcounty.org.
So you did that so well.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. You know, I like to sit there and go through. You taught me the best.
It's so kind. I'm doing this challenge. I talked to Jay about that earlier this week. I said, we're going to get off some sugar this summer.
I heard that. Literally, I lean in over the summer. Don't look at my matcha that's on my table today. One of my team members brought it for me. This iced banana matcha is delicious. But you see, I've been drinking on it since 8 o'clock this morning. But inside my fridge, you literally see coconut water, sparkling water, or sparkling soda water. There is no other options. And, of course, regular still water. But that's if you need a little flavor. But you want to hear some stuff that's happening in my
Let's hear it.
All right. So as far as it goes, we have the 2006 Condom Couture. Own it, live it, be it. It's a fabulous fashion show that is going to be Friday, July 24th at 7 p.m. It's going to be at Dust Las Vegas. It is hosted by the Center, and you're going to see fashion, music, giveaways, as well as free HIV testing. Remember, y'all, everyone has a status. As we mentioned before, participate in the Sugary Beverages Challenge. Did you know that would you sit down and eat 10 spoonfuls of sugar? Or 2 tablespoons?
To be honest.
Yeah, go ahead. You would.
I used to.
You used to? Well, I'm glad it's a used to and not anymore. And
Sugar
I need
was
more
so
people.
good.
It is so good.
It's so good.
It is so good. But take into account, y'all, the sodas, the sports drinks, the sweetened coffee, the energy drink everyone's walking around in their hands in, and even sweetened teas and fruit juices, when they're overly consumed, can lead to weight gain, tooth decay, and many other things. So please, y'all, do the soda-free challenge this summer and think about how you can reduce or eliminate your intake of added sugar through beverages. As we mentioned before, there's plenty of places to play. Check it out at gethealthyclarkcounty.org and email us at gethhealthy@snhd.org and suggest a public park or a park amenity to be included if you do not see it on the website. Parks are a great and inexpensive place to have fun and get your daily dose of physical activity. And look out, y'all, Walk for Healthy Living, the 34th annual walkathon hosted by the Links Incorporated. It's a free event. Save the date for Saturday, September 26, 2026. It's going to be at West Preparatory Academy, located at the field. The event starts at 9 a.m. and walking starts at 9:15.
All right, lots going on in our community.
Always. There's always something to do. And if there's not something to you, it's something you can go find and create.
Thank you for keeping us informed.
Of course. Whatever I can do, my friend.
This has been the Healthier Tomorrow radio program. I'm Will Rucker.
I'm Ciara Owens.
And as we always remind you, you are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. And what you do matters. So live compassionately. Tune in next time.
Bye, y'all.